Tiara here with Fae Creations. Thanks so much for tuning in to another soap making adventure. It is now time to start the August release, and I'm really trying to get rid of, not really get rid of, but create all of my summer themed soaps for August so that, believe it or not, we can move on to the fall themed soaps, since September is fall and that is what I like the most. So let's get started. We are making a creamy coconut soap, and I'm going to pour my lye solution into my oils. I am also going to add some coconut milk. This is actually coconut cream. It is 70% coconut and 30% water. That is, if you were to put coconut in soap, that is all you want. You don't want any of the additives, and it is so hard to find coconut milk that doesn't have like the guar gum and the citric acid and all that stuff in it. I had my mom looking all over the place for it. She found me some. So let's get started. We're gonna mix this together real quick, and just so that it's barely incorporated, because we're gonna do a layer on this. All right, let's pour off some for a coconut husk layer. I feel like my stick blender, it's on its last legs. I really feel like it is. It's just making funny noises and it doesn't feel right. And I'm going to one of my favorite stores ever, TJ Maxx, tomorrow. Hopefully I can find something there that I like. If not, I'm gonna have to order a new one off of Amazon, because I really do like this brand, but I have a feeling it's not going to last me much longer. All right, let's color this with, I have some Sahara Gold and some Magic Mushroom. These are from Nurture Soap. Just get a little golden color going on here. And I'm going to add some walnut shell for a little exfoliation and, of course, design. Give that a mix and see where that gets us. Fragrance. Creamy coconut. This is by Nature's Garden, and it has notes of, what is it, peach, banana, coconut tree leaves, and vanilla. There is 1% vanillin in here, so it will discolor to a light beige color. Not going to get upset about that. We're just going to work with it, as long as it's not a dark brown color. It smells like your typical coconut scent. It almost reminds me of the air fresheners that you would put in the car that are coconut scented. Is it just called coconut? It was never my favorite when I was little. My dad always used to put them in the car in his work truck. But it has other notes to it that really balance it out, and it's not like that headache smell of coconut that, I don't know, I always got. I'm gonna get my molds over here. I'm gonna pour this up. I'm gonna let it set up so that I can sculpt a layer. I have a cake comb here. I'm gonna use this end of it to put a little design in there. I want it to look like the coconut shell, like it's been cracked open. Let's pour this in, let it set, and then we'll get the sculpting. Okay, for the final layer, I am going to use some titanium dioxide dispersed in water in one layer. I'm going to leave this bowl uncolored, so it will naturally be the color of the soap plus whatever gets discolored from the fragrance oil. But I am adding some vanilla bean powder to both of these for a little speckled look, and just because it's vanilla. And there's vanilla notes. So let's give them a mix and add our fragrance. I'm gonna do an in the pot. Yeah, I'm doing it in the pot swirl, and yep, I think think that's what I want to do. You know, a lot of this is just me soaping on a fly. I kind of like put things together the night before and then I just go with it. So I'm gonna frost the top of this. I've whipped up some soap icing and I have it in a 1M tip. I colored this with some titanium dioxide to make it nice and white. And since there's no coconut milk or fragrance in this, it should stay this nice bright white shade. And I also added some green jojoba beads. And then off to the side, I have a little cup that I've mixed together a little bit of castor and olive oil with some Nurture's Snowflake Sparkle Mica to do a little mica drizzle in between the layers and on the top, just to kind of give it a little bit of a shimmer. And it also reminded me of like a coconut milk drizzle. So I'm gonna go ahead and frost the top of this. And then I will show you the embeds that I made to go on top. Okay, going on top of this, I have these palm tree embeds that are made out of melt and pour, and they'll go on one side. And on the other side, I have these little gumballs that I made to look like coconuts. Now, I forgot to set one off to the side to show you guys how I made them, but I basically took this clay tool and I kind of drilled little holes in there, and then I took the same tool and just made, like, scored it up a little bit to make it look like the hairy husk of the coconut shell. And then I took some black soap dough and I stuck it and like rubbed it inside of those holes and then just wiped off the excess. And those are my little coconuts that are gonna go on the other side of this soap. I wanted to do something different than what I typically have done in the past, which is like make a cracked open coconut. I think I like these better. So let's get those on top of our soap. When I was designing these little coconuts, I was scared they were going to look like bowling balls. And I actually had to look it up. So like, I think there are 3 holes and not 2. And there were 3, and I think the scoring of the side of them to make it kind of look like they're hairy really helped them not look like bowling balls. And I sent it to my friend Cheryl, who also makes soap. Shout out to Cheryl. And I said, what do you think? Coconuts? Do they look like coconuts? She's like, they kind of look like coconuts. She actually had some really fun facts that she had told me about coconuts. And she asked me if I knew why they had 3 little holes on them. And it has something to do with germination, I'm sure. But she said that when they fall from the tree, they always fall with the holes face up, because that is where a sprout will emerge from. So I thought that was really cute. And I also learned when I was looking up coconuts that they are also called the tree of life, because they just have so many uses. They are so versatile when you think about it. Like, you eat them, you cook with them, you make soap with them, they're in ointments for healing. There's just so many uses. I mean, I'm sure you can use the leaves for things. I can't think of anything offhand, but it is so true. Coconut trees are like so versatile. All right, so I am loving this so far. I really like this, how this has turned out. When I was little, a memory I have is going to the grocery store with my mom. You know, you're not allowed to buy all the snacks that you want, and you say when you grow up, I'm gonna buy whatever I want to eat, and then you grow up and you're like, yeah, that's gonna make me fat. I don't wanna eat that. Or I'm poor. These are the two reasons as an adult, like, those things aren't always something that work out. But when you're little, you're like, I'm gonna buy all the fruit snacks and all the ice cream. Well, I had an obsession with coconuts. I don't know why or where it came from, how it came about, but I would beg my mom to get me a coconut from the produce section. I would sit in front of the TV and watch my cartoons, and I would ask my mom to crack it open for me, and I would scrape the meat of the coconut shell off with my teeth. Like, to me, that was a treat. I don't know if I was just not a kid, or if that is what people like to do, but that is what I did. So if you've ever eaten a coconut that way, let me know. Or if it's just me, or what do you use coconuts for? If you've ever bought them from the market, what would you use a coconut for? I also think of like Monty Python and the opening scene of the Holy Grail, where they're galloping along and the coconut shells are what makes the sound of the hooves of the fake horse. That is forever etched in my mind when I think of coconut shells. I also realized that there are more than just one kind of coconut. There's like Thai coconuts. There's just so many different kinds of coconuts that you don't really think about. When I was in Hawaii, it was like my goal to find fresh fruit and eat some fresh fruit. And we found this stand that the guy carved up coconuts and put a straw in it, and you could sit there with this giant coconut, like the size of my head. Also reminds me of a song. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. And it also reminds me of Lion King. Coconuts are just everywhere. But it was a huge coconut, and I sat there with a straw and I enjoyed the fresh taste of coconut water. It was such an experience. It was so cool. I think I'm a palm tree short. How did I do that? Okay, I think we're done here. I'll make up that extra coconut or palm tree, coconut tree, whatever, and stick it on there, but that's it. I'm gonna leave this sit for 24 hours, and I will bring you guys back in 24 hours when I go to cut this. And I'm just getting so many summer vibes from this. I'm in love. I was like, there's no way I'm missing one. Like, the mold has 12 cavities, which means I have 12 bars. I'm happy I found it. It's still stuck in there. So let's get that out. I found this at Dollar General one year. They're a bit funky looking, but you get the point. All right, now we're done. Huzzah! Alright, let's cut into it and see how it turned out, you guys. I think this is going to be my favorite soap of this release, and it's only the first one. I've only just started this month's soap making, and this one's my favorite already. So you can see how those colors went a little beige, but I kept the top nice and white, so it looks like everything I had possibly imagined. It smells really good too. So the fragrance, it's not as strong as it was in the bottle, and it's also not as perfumey and like fake coconut smelling. It's very rounded out, and it actually smells more like creamy coconut should. So you can see there's the green jojoba beads in there, at least I think you can. So you can get an up close look. There we go, green jojoba beads, you got the vanilla bean powder, there's the walnut shell in there, the perfect sculpted layer, some pretty swirls. It smells delicious. We got the coconut on top and the palm tree. I love it. It smells great. My favorite so far, and it's only the first, but that's saying something. This is definitely going to be my favorite of the whole entire August release. And then after I made the soap, I had all that leftover coconut milk because I didn't use the whole can, our coconut cream. I went and used it in dinner. I made some like grilled coconut milk chicken on skewers and a little peanut sauce to go with it. So coconut milk and coconut trees are just great. Coconuts are great. They really are the most versatile fruit, and I'm happy they exist. Coconut oil goes into the soap, coconut cream goes into the soap. You can eat it, it's great stuff, it really is. Just goes to show you. If you guys are interested in purchasing this bar, it will be available on the August 27th shop update. We lost a little piece of the coconut there. August 27th is the next shop update, so mark your calendars. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe, join me for more soap making videos. Any questions or comments, leave them for me in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I hope you have a very nice day, and I will smell you later.